Hi, I'm Lutifah, welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to show you how I do my eyebrows. And this is going to be a relatively short video, but what I wanted to do is show you the two ways I do my eyebrows. And by that I mean, often when I do my brows, I do a version for a no makeup look, and I do a version with makeup. And the version with makeup is a little bit more prominent, and the version without is I'm trying to go for that natural look because I'm not going to put anything else on my face. I might flip on a bit of mascara and I'm out. So you don't want your eyebrows to look too stark. So I'm going to show you how I do both ways. Now, first of all, I'm going to show you what I use, okay? So my tools of the trade. The first things first, I use Benefit's Precisely My Brow. Now I have this in about 3 colors. I have it in shade 5, which is the darkest for me. I have it in a shade 4, and I have it in 4 and 0.5. Now the reason I have 3 shades is very simple. When I'm tan or when I'm doing a full face of makeup, I will often reach for the shade 5 because I have quite light brows. The camera doesn't always pick them up, so I need to darken them a little bit. And when you're wearing a full face of makeup, it looks, the juxtaposition is quite nice when the brows are a little bit darker versus when I'm doing a natural look. Right now, if you look at me, my brows look very light against my natural skin. So what in that case, I would go for the 4.5 or the 4. The 4.5 is a bit more warm than the 4, which is cooler. So I just pick between the two depending on where I am. And right now I'm going to use the 4.5 because this is the lightest I'm going to be. This is my winter shade. But maybe in April, June, before I catch proper sun, I'd use the 4, which is cooler toned. Now the reason I go slightly lighter is because, like I said, if you look at my natural skin here, you can just about see my eyebrows. They're not that prominent. Now, if I go in shade 5, which is really dark, my eyebrows are gonna look really stark against my skin. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a more prominent brow, but still a natural looking brow. So hence you go slightly, I would go slightly lighter. I wouldn't go as dark as I would with a full face of makeup. So like I said, my tools of the trade, Precisely My Brow, pencil, the 3 shades, everything I'm buying 2 or 3 shades. Then I would use the brow styler as well. And this is a tool that has a powdered ink or a powdered well and I don't really use this side that often, but it also has that on this side as well, which is like a waxy kind of end. I also tend to use Gimme Brow as well because this lays down like faux, it pigments the hair that's already there. It kind of lays down like faux pigment on your brows, so that's quite good as well. And then to finish, to set them, I don't set them when I'm doing a no makeup look, but when I am doing a makeup look, I set them with Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel, but you can use any setting brow gel. I don't think that's as important as a step. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so what I start by doing is I just brush my brow hairs up. So what I do first is take a spoolie or whatever you like to use, and I just brush my brow hairs up like this. And what I'm trying to do is see what I'm working with. So just brush them up. Even the side bits, just brush it all up. Then I take the spoolie end and I kind of get the edge like that. I tend not to do much with the top part, because you want to kind of keep that natural shape. And then once I've decided that, okay, cool, that looks good, this is now the shape I'm going to follow. So I'm going to go this way and that way, and I'm going to follow my natural shape. And the reason I have to line, when I do line my brows, I am going to line along my natural line. I'm not going to try to make them any bigger or any smaller, because like I said, I don't groom. So if I try and make them smaller, I'm going to get straggly bits along here. And if I do get straggly bits, there is a way to hide them. I just use Plouise, but I try not, especially if you're doing the makeup, no makeup, I'm not going to put concealer underneath it. So I just try and make sure that I line against my natural growth and the natural shape. And plus, the natural shape you have is the shape for your face anyway. So let's just quickly do this side. There you go. Next, I would grab my Precisely My Brow, and then I'm going to line underneath. Now, by going in with a slightly lighter colour, and by lighter I mean not lighter than my brows, just not too dark, I line it like this. And I do it with this is my no makeup brow look, I do it with a very light hand because I don't want you to see a stark line on my face like this. It's a little bit weird. So I go in with a soft line and I go into my brow there. I don't try and create the curve, I go straight into the brow. There you go, just like that. Then I take this side and I've got to decide, okay, this is the line I want to follow right here. So then I follow it down. Now it's going to be more visible right here in this space here because my brow is really thin there. So that's fine, just follow it down. We're just creating the shape that we're going to fill. Doesn't have to be too neat either. So there we go, that's the shape. So this is my overall shape. Then what I do with the same brow styler, if you hold it on the end like this, you're going to get a lighter touch. If you hold it like this, you're going to get a more stark line, and that's fine for the middle and the arch, but for the end you kind of want it feathery. So what I do is, again, I do everything in the direction of my natural brow hairs. So just flicking lines for now, gentle lines. Take it to the front even, that's fine. And with the front, naturally the brow hairs in front tend to be a little bit shorter than anywhere else, so just go follow it. Another thing I don't do is I don't line the top of my brows ever, because the look that I'm trying to achieve isn't too groomed, I don't want it to be too perfect. So I don't mind if the top has a little bit of that natural nuance. And as you can see, I'm literally merely drawing lines in the direction that my brow hair's growing. So I'm trying to get them to intermingle with what's already there. And don't forget that some of the lines you need to do from the line that we've created here. So you just go to the bottom of the line and do it from there. Okay, now to do the arch, I always start, for now, I will leave this bit alone. And I just start by pressing lines in, following what I already have. And just gently fill in, very gently, don't need to press too hard. There you go. Just gonna clean up this bit a little bit. There you go, very gently, very lightly. There. And then what I do, because now I've done the first half and I've done the other side, then I kind of try and connect it. The reason I do the middle bit last is because that way I just think it gives you a more natural look. I can see what needs to be done now that the two sides have been done. So then what I do is I follow it up again in the diagonals, but then I also start to bring it down as well in the areas it would naturally do so if I had thicker hair. And up there. So you're constantly trying to go in a direction of where your brow hairs would be growing anyway. There we go. Then what I like to do to finish it off, because literally this is all I do if I'm just going to rock out the door, then I like to do is going back in with a spoolie and I flick it up, just like I did before. But make sure you do it from the line that you created, because we're trying to kind of lessen the visibility of that line. So from the line that I created, I'll just do that. So that it's not too stark, but it still looks clean. The same thing with this bit. This bit is probably the most important bit to brush, because fundamentally I don't really have brows there, so we need to make it look a lot more natural. And there we go. Now I would happily go out of my brow like that. And as you see, that took no time and it was very light-handed. Now let's do our full beat makeup eye. Now to start that eye, which I'm going to do on this side, I would go in with shade, let's say shade 5, and I would create a very stark line. So. You see how much more visible this line is? I mean, it is because I'm using a darker shade. But you see the difference immediately, like between the two eyes. This one's so much more natural. We can go out like that, we'll look cute. And this one is very stark. Now there's a reason for it. I'm not an artist, and I'm the kind of person, if you give me lines to follow, I will follow. So the reason I do this is because when I use the concealer, I've got a clean line to follow when I'm lining under my brows. So anyway, so we do a thick line, again into the brow, like I said before. This is just how I do it, by the way. There's no hard, fast rules. And then I do a thick line going down as well. There you go. See? It's very prominent there. So that's that. Then I do the same thing again. I start to flick to start to fill. So this eye is going to look a lot darker when I'm done, and maybe even a bit blockier than the other eye. And you can already start to see how much is getting darker. And the reason being, like I said before, when I do a full face of makeup, if I don't do this slightly darker, I'll lose my brows because there's so much light, they're quite light. So I'll lose my brows. So this is why I have to do it like this. So, and don't forget, like I said, to do it from the line. So there's not that weird gap. And again, back to the end and start filling. Short lines. I never do any very long lines, it's always short lines. Because we're trying to create or recreate hair. But the fundamentals are exactly the same. There we go. See? Prominent. So now what we need to do is just do the middle part. So I'm going to let go a little bit. There we go. I'm going to go in the direction of my hair and then down. And I do the same thing, go back in with a spoolie, and I just fluff everything up. There you go. Now another key difference is at this point is when I would go in with my Gimme Brow, because Gimme Brow lays down faux pigments on your brows. So then I just go in and I just put that down so that it's literally coating anything, any brows that I actually have, it's putting pigment on it. Then I go down again. And that's it. That's literally all I'll do. That's the first part of doing it with makeup. So as you can see already, this is quite a natural brow and this is not. Right, next thing I would do then is I would line them up. So I would take my Plouise Base shade 6, and you don't want to use a concealer, or you don't want to use anything too light anyway. It's got to be as close to your skin tone as possible. So then I'd literally just follow the line that I created there. And this is what I mean by I am not an artist, but this makes it so easy for me to follow that line. And whenever you drag, make sure you bring it down as well. So drag and bring the excess product down. And then next I would just bring it down here. Okay, so now that I've lined it, I would take a concealer brush. And what I would do then is just pat the product in and down, because now it's going to create the base for my eyeshadow as well. And you want to kind of go slow near the line, but we're trying to pick up any excess product around the eye line, so you don't have that weird kind of, you know, that weird like wetness people get just under the brows. We're trying to avoid that. So what we do is when we get close to the line, take our time and pat it gently. Okay, so this is the first part of my eye. Cute, right? I mean, you can see it's coming along. Now then what I would do is I'd finish the rest of my face. I'd do my eyeshadow, I'd do everything, I'd powder, and then I would finish my eyebrow. And the reason I do it like that again is because right now it looks so stark and you're doing it against the grain of a bare face, but then I'd like to finish it when I've had my full face of makeup. So what you're going to see next is a full face of makeup and then me finishing my brows, and this one will be matching as well. See you in a tick. Now I've more or less done my makeup here. As you can see, this is how the brows are looking. So what I like to do at this point is then I get my brow styler, give it a good shake. And then what I like to do is I take the product. So as you can see, it's like a powdery product. There we go, it's like a powdery product. And what I like to do is dip it in, take it, and I start at the middle because that's where it's going to deposit the most product. So then I start there. And because it's kind of a dry product, it's just nice. It just makes it a bit more hair-like. So then I just follow the general direction of the eyebrows I've already been doing. And then bring it back down. And then what's left, I go in the front when there's practically no products left, and I just go up for the beginning part of my brows. Voila. And that's kind of how you get an almost finished look. Then what I do is I go back in with my pencil just to tidy anything up. So if this isn't how I like it, I just go in here and I tidy it. And the reason I like to use the brow styler to finish the front of my brows, because it does it to where there's not a line. So it looks more like new grown hairs than anything. And then I kind of just clean up anything. I'm not trying to do a straight line at all. I'm just trying to clean up any bits that I've missed, or if I've gone out the lines in any way, or if it looks a bit hinky. Just a quick tidy up. But I'm doing it against the grain of foundation, eyeshadow, so I can see what it's going to look like. And then last but not least, spoolie. Make sure it's clean. And then just brush everything in the direction you want it. I said last but not least, but I'm actually going to set it. There we go. And I like to set it before I spray my face. So at this point is where I would set it. And I set it with Anastasia brow gel. And I just set it in again in the direction it's already going in. Set the edges as well. Voila. I'm going to do the other eye and then show you the final look so you can see how the brows look against a finished face. And this is the final look. As you can see, my brows are in situ. Now you can see, now that I've finished doing my makeup, you can actually see why I had to make them darker, because against against the foundation, it wouldn't have, the juxtaposition would have been off. So I had to make them slightly different, darker, just so that they're more prominent. So this is the final look. And it's still quite a natural look on this full face of glam. I mean, it wouldn't be a natural look on my normal skin, but against this full face of glam, it is a very natural look. And that's how I do my eyebrows. I have two ways. I have one with makeup, one without. Both very easy, both take me little to no time. You don't need a whole heap of products. You can just do it with the pencil as well. So, I mean, obviously I like these products because I find that they work and they mattify and they stay. But honestly, you don't need to use all the products. I use a simple pencil, maybe in 2 colors. But for me, that's what anybody needs. I will be doing a further, so basically I'll be doing a series on back to basics of makeup, and I will be going into a little bit more detail about the types of eye products you can use, so powders, creams, soap brows, that kind of thing. For today though, I just wanted to show you what I do to achieve my brows. But don't worry, the series is on its way, and I'm hoping to get the series up and running by mid-March. I need to vlog going to Nigeria, which I'm about to do soon. And when I come back, we will get started with that series and we will go back to basics and we will show you everything you need to know about makeup from a beginner's perspective. So if you liked my video, please like, please subscribe, please share if you care, and I will see you in the next one.